Hey, so we're in the COVID lockdown, and what a good time to improve your bike position, for example, and to work on your technique, your bike fit, your position, find your weaknesses, improve your smoothness. There are so many things you can do with the LEOMO, and today I'm going to talk about one thing you can do with one sensor. So by placing one sensor and using the H angle, we can actually see the angle of the sensor, and you can see where it's placed on Victor Campanart's back here. Now at the start of the file, he's in the aero tuck position. It is actually more important to be more narrow than lower. So riders now try and get their shoulders as close as possible. At the start, he thinks he's as narrow as possible. And you can see this because the LEOMO sensor is showing between 29 and 32 degrees. Now at this moment, I tell him not to focus on keeping his shoulders narrow. And you already see a dramatic drop in the angle. It goes down to 20 to 24, which is a big difference. And you can see in the images that he's far more wider than he was before. Now I tell him to go as narrow as possible, to bring those shoulders in, and you can see it went from around 20 to 24 degrees all the way up to 41 degrees, which is a huge difference. And you can see by the image that he's super narrow and he can slice through the air much more efficiently. The interesting thing is, if you have a look, the whole period after that, I have told him to hold that position, and he holds it at the start, and he slowly fades off, and you see how his shoulders are slowly opening up, and he is not self-aware of this, but on the LEOMO it doesn't lie. You can see that the angle decreases quite a lot, and over time, now he thinks he's as aero as possible. It's not as bad as when he was full open, around the 20 to 24 degrees, but in his head, he really believes he's just like before, around the 41 to 44 degrees. So the good thing about the LEOMO is when you're going training or when you're racing, you can actually see in your training file if you've maintained that aerodynamic position as much as possible. If you use the head unit or LEOMO's watch, you can actually see the number in real time, just to remind yourself. And with the new feature coming out soon, you actually see every single time you go out of your range, and the color on your screen will display that you're out of your range. So you don't need to think about what angle you should be in. Black is where you should be, blue, you're too low, red, you're too high, and you'll just see. You can just focus on the number, just make sure it's black, do your TT as best as possible, and stay in the most aerodynamic position. So one sensor can do a lot.